Welcome to the first episode of Off Our Needles. We're the Grocery Girls. I'm Jodi.
And I'm Tracie. And today is our Color Crush episode, which means that it's going to be non-stop wild color.
Let's do this.
So Jode, what's been going on? How's your week?
My week was really good until I went to the gas station, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So I pull up to the gas station and happened to be a full service one.
Yeah.
And the gentleman came up to the window and he said, "How much would you like, sir?" Totally.
Was he kidding?
No, he wasn't kidding, but I'm trying to rationalize this, that he actually really didn't think I was a man when he saw me, but he sort of came up this way, right? Like the side of the Suburban.
Short hair.
Short hair, and he said, "Sir," and when I looked at him, he sort of corrected himself.
Yeah.
And then I was at Walmart and called the same thing.
What the heck? I think it's time for some lip gloss.
Don't be afraid to put on a little mascara.
Don't be afraid.
Totally. Yeah. How about you? You're sounding scratchy.
I know, I sound like a frog today.
You do.
So a little bit of a cold, but it goes away fast, so I'm not worried about it.
Okay, how's your week other than that?
It's been good. So super excited for Off Our Needles.
Yes.
Bought a couple of new things, went to the store, but they're all Spanx.
Who doesn't love the Spanx?
You can't see any of it, but it's there. I feel like I've got body armor on. And let me tell you, if you want to work out, forget spinning. Forget, classes and all this other stuff. Load up a changing room with super sausage clothing and try and get in it.
You are sweating by the time you're done.
Trying to get out of it is worse than trying to get into it. Elbows are banging the walls. Yes. And literally, I was just like exhausted after.
I totally feel
So my week was, I had a workout. That's how my week was. I work out in a cold. It's probably right?
And up next, a very colorful favorite thing segment.
I love our favorite things.
Here's our favorite thing segment where we would like to share some of our favorite nitty and sometimes non-nitty favorite things. And this week, we have very colorful nitty favorite things.
Yeah, speaking of colorful, have you seen Chili Philly?
I have seen
I came across Chili Phil on Instagram, and he does have a website too, but he's a dude crocheter, so he loves to play with yarn.
Yeah.
And he makes these fantastic hats.
Outrageous.
Like French fries and ketchup and
a pizza,
rainbows and
a mushroom.
And he just sits there with this kind of like this really flat face and these crazy colorful.
I
think he's super fun. I think if you need a smile, go check out Chili Phil because he's very colorful.
Yeah, his Instagram.
Yeah, his Instagram's
great feed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love a good notion. So this is the Clover wool cutter.
Yeah.
It cuts pretty much all gauges of yarn.
Yeah, it's got little blade in all of these little...
Very simply, and it's easy to travel with.
Yes.
It's no exposed blade, so it's really, really safe. Throw it in your notions bag, forget about it, it totally works.
So I bought mine when it was an issue with traveling with your knitting things, where you weren't actually allowed to travel with the pointy scissors that we used.
Right.
So this was never an issue getting through customs.
Yeah.
And it's tiny enough, it fits in my little notions pouch.
Yeah, and it seems to stay sharp forever.
You guys, it's just like effortless.
Yeah. And another thing that I've come across lately that I'm so excited about is the texture book by Hannah Fettig. So this is a new collection of patterns.
Yeah.
It's hot off the presses. It is all knitted patterns, knitted garments and some accessories, but you also get a workshop of how to choose your yarn, how to do different increases and decreases. She's done a neutral palette in here, but I can't help but wonder what this would be like in some gorgeous colors.
Pick your favorite color.
Add some personality.
Yeah.
Right? I think that would be amazing. So this is a stunning collection of new knitted
so
sweaters.
Beautifully photographed.
Yeah. I really love the West End cardigan. I think I'm going to make that one.
I know. Okay, so another super colorful favorite thing is Lucy Neatby. And she's got online free class that is the 2016 Knit Along.
I know. You get to knit along with Lucy and make 3 pairs of beautiful socks.
Yeah, you do. And with this free online class, you get these 3 downloadable patterns for free as well.
You do.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you think Lucy Neatby, you think rainbow.
I know.
Couldn't be more colorful.
Yeah. And she walks you with your handheld step by step through 3 pairs of beautiful socks.
There's tons of techniques in there. We wanted our name to be reflective of us, and we wanted it to be fun and knitting. So I don't know, we couldn't incorporate the knitting, but then Grocery Girls just kind of cute ring with the G and G. We just like the way it sounded.
Yeah. But I mean, always growing up, we always did. My mom was really good about that stuff.
Yeah.
We always were creative and doing stuff.
She was big into the macrame. We did have lots of that.
You're dating yourself.
I know.
Totally. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go a day without
Just always
something
been kind of
creative.
crafty. Maybe the first thing that kind of got me doing that was scrapbooking. I can remember going to those scrapbooking parties and coming home with like a stack of stuff.
Spent a small fortune and did it for a week.
I have half an album. 2 kids, half an album.
About a 4-week period in my first kid's life.
Yeah. We find lots of fun knitting related things, whether that's yarn or instructors or patterns or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it is fun to highlight those and share them with other people, shine a bit of a light and kind of spread the word. Knitters are very generous. It's not like we keep anything. If we find a great yarn, a great pattern, a great whatever, we want to yell it from the mountaintops.
Yeah, we want to share it with everybody.
For some reason, it's like, oh, you have to have this.
Yeah.
Have you guys always gotten along?
Not this well when we were growing up, but as soon as our lives basically were parallel with married kids, it was really
I would
effortless.
steal her clothes. and
Effortless. We would work together, we had kids, and the kids would always play together.
Yeah.
But I guess we didn't have to be getting along. That just
So we became
happened.
real friends when we started having families at the same time, and
Yeah.
your interests sort of level out, right?
Yeah.
Like you're not at different places in your life.
Yeah.
And then with the knitting thing, it just
I mean, we really
solidified.
do. We love hanging out together, and we love doing this. This knitting thing has been so fun.
so fun.
Yeah. Jodi's the most generous person you'll ever meet.
So nice. I would actually say the same thing about Tracie. A heart of gold, really, truly. This has been a joy to do this with you, and truly, I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else.
You have to cut out the ugly cry. This is Let's Knit It, and that's where we take a pattern and work you through a few of the trickier spots, or they just look a little bit strange and you haven't done them before.
But not difficult.
They're easy.
Yeah.
Today we're talking about the Fiesta Mitten by Lucy Neatby, which is so cute and colorful. And it's a color work mitten. It's got a very kind of unique stitch. It's super simple, and I'm going to show you how to do it.
This looks like a little tulip.
I know, isn't it cute?
Yeah, I do love that.
So in the pattern, it's called Knit 1, 02, Knit 1.
Okay.
Okay, super easy. You're going to be using your multicolored yarn for this one. My instructions are to knit 2 with the main color, which in this case is the beautiful turquoise for me. So I'm going to knit 2, and I'm going to be making that flowery stitch coming up. So knit 2 with that one. And then now here comes my knit 1, 02, knit 1. And so I'm using my variegated color yarn, or V, in the pattern. So I knit 1, and then I'm going to wrap my yarn around like a yarn over twice. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to knit that stitch again. So I've sort of made this little cluster of rings around my needle here. Cluster of stitches. And so what you should have, it's a little tough to see, but you should have 4 loops there. And then I'm going to separate it by a 1 knit stitch of my main color.
So this first row, you were just getting your setup row for your stitch.
Yeah. And then I'm going to start my repeat again. Knit 2 in the main color. And then I'm going to do my knit 2, Look at that slippery little sucker. Get back on there. There we go. Okay, here we go for one more of the little funny stitches that you may not have seen. So knit 1 with your variegated yarn, wrap it twice, put it back in that same stitch, and knit it again. And so if you can look at the Fiesta mitten, you're going to see that these little clusters are offset. So it's not a different stitch pattern, but the next time you come across it, it will be stacking sort of beside and below this one. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the end of this row. I'm not going to do anything different, and I'll see you there. Okay, so I've worked my way around the mitten, and I'm back to the beginning of my round, and we're going to just work those knit 1, 02 knit 1s with the main color now, and we're going to create the little flower shape. It's so easy and so cute. And we are only using the main color for this round. So here we go. The first thing we do is we knit 1. There we go. Knit 1, and we're going to start working those loops. So make sure you get the first one on the needle, kind of spread them out a little bit, we're going to do a knit 2 together, like that. Whoops, I don't want to split my stitch so that the flower looks funny. There we go. Knit 2 together, and try not to be tight with your knitting. The next one is a slip 1, so I'm not even going to do anything with this other than slip it, but that other loop that's going to be on here is going to be dropping. So you're going to end up with an elongated stitch, just like that in the color. And then the next thing you're going to do is a slip, slip knit using the last colorful loop and one of your main color stitches. And so what that's going to do, hope you can see it, our knit 2 together leans to the right, and then our slip stitch is standing straight up and down, and our slip, slip knit goes to the left. So when you look at the mitten, you will see very clearly that you've created a little multi-directional flower there. So let me show you that one more time. We're going to do knit 1 in the main color. This is going to separate your flowers a little bit. And the first action we're doing, we're going to knit 2 together, which is one main color and one loop of your color V. And the next thing we do is slip that one and let that big loop drop off. So there you go. And now you're going to slip, slip knit with the last loop and one main color stitch. Isn't that easy?
Yeah.
It's so simple.
So simple.
And so effective to make this pretty shape. So I'm going to just go all the way across. Nothing different's happening here. No more sneaky things sneaking up on you. This is it. This is one of my favorite patterns. I think it just highlights a hand-painted sock yarn like nothing else.
Yeah.
It's so easy and so pretty. There we go. And I could just work my way to the end. Okay, so at this point in our Fiesta mittens, we have increased our thumb gusset to the maximum number of stitches we need. So what we're going to do now is we're going to transfer them to waste yarn, put them on hold, cast on a few stitches, and keep going with our mitten. But it's very simple, so just let me show you how this goes. I'm just finishing my row of my patterning here. It's just the 1x1 pattern, all knit stitches, one with the main color, one with color V. So I'm almost there. That's really quick.
So with this pattern, you want a really high contrast.
The higher the better.
Yeah.
I think if there's a yarn that you think is so bright and so crazy you could never knit with it,
yeah,
it's perfect for this
one.
I
agree.
Yeah. So pick something nice and cozy and pretty, and you're gonna get some awesome mittens. For the size of the mitten that I've knit here, my gusset is 18 stitches. So when I had increased that to 18 stitches, I knew that it was time to put them on hold and get going with the rest of the mitten. So you'll see on this needle right here, we have 9 stitches, that's half of our gusset. And all I've done here is I've threaded a piece of waste yarn that's about the same gauge as the one I'm working with on a tapestry needle or wool needle. And I'm just going to transfer them one by one. I'm slipping them purlwise, easy peasy. Pull my yarn through a little bit, keep them on there. And I'm gonna do that for 18 stitches, which is what my size is.
So your thumb is knit last.
Yeah, so you're gonna knit the rest of your mitten.
Okay.
And then you're gonna come back and worry about your thumb later.
So you put them on waste yarn, finish your mitt, and come back.
It's so easy.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. So this is on my other needle here. I've got the other half of my gusset, which is the other 9 stitches. So the first 9 on this needle, I'm gonna put on hold. And it's really great too because the thumb also has color work on it. These mittens are just so beautiful.
And it's even different color work than the palm or the main back of the mitten.
The patterns are all very simple.
Yeah.
So when I put stitches on hold, I like to take my waste yarn and I just give it a nice little bit of a knot. What if, oh my God, what if you grabbed one of those and you pulled it out and your stitch is that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
So I just put a loose knot like that and I leave it. And so I've worked my yarn up to the gusset, put those stitches on hold, and now I'm gonna continue my patterning. But if you don't cast on a few extra stitches in between, you end up with a giant gap in your mitten. And I find it hard to not have some kind of a little gap, but this is gonna reduce that.
And it can always be tweaked at the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what we are going to do is we are going to cast on 4 stitches in between. And that's just going to give us a little bit of a helping to close our gap like that, right?
So this is, you've put your stitches on the waist yarn. You're ready to start knitting the next part of your mitt.
Yep, I'm going to cast these stitches on.
Okay.
And I'm going to look at my chart and I'm just going to continue my patterning.
Okay.
Nothing else has changed.
Okay.
Okay. So for this, I'm going to use the backwards loop cast on. Super easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's called the thumb cast on. So I wrap it like this around my thumb and just slide it on the needle. That's one stitch. I just sort of wrap it on my thumb like that. Slide it on the needle. Wrap it. This is stitch number 3 and stitch number 4. So there you go. You've added a few more stitches and then now you just continue in your pattern. So we've put those thumb stitches on hold, finished the top of our mitten, and now we're going to come back and pick those guys up, finish our thumb. End of mitten, right?
Yep, done.
Super easy. So next we're going to show you our single sock parade.
Love it. So this is our True Confession segment.
Because we feel like we're friends already, and I think we could just tell you guys anything.
So a lot of people think they should feel shame when they talk about their single socks and how many they actually have.
Yeah.
But actually, we're embracing it today.
I have hardcore second sock syndrome, and today I'm here to prove it. But I love it because they're very colorful, and I feel like you guys are gonna love these colorful socks.
Totally. Look at this, you guys.
Color crush, right?
That's all we knit our socks with crazy colorful yarn.
Speckles.
Yeah.
And
Look
you
at this.
said you're just gonna start matching them up.
Let's be real. I'm never gonna get back to my 20 single socks and knit the pair.
Really?
I'm not going to. So I don't actually even care if they're the same length. I've just started wearing them mismatched.
Well, let me tell you, it's an accomplishment to finish a sock.
It really is.
You shouldn't feel bad that you've only finished one.
No.
I actually told Mom, she said, you should find somebody that would wear those. And I said, Mom, I'm gonna finish them.
I know.
She laughed so hard that I was offended. She's like,
you know you're never gonna finish
laughing.
it.
Like,
I
there's
know.
no way you're gonna finish those.
Yeah.
So Mom, I'm totally gonna do it.
Yeah,
Just
totally.
FYI.
And you know what? I don't care if I have second sock syndrome.
Yeah.
I just love knitting with fun yarn. Sometimes I get bored of it by the time I finish a sock. And so I'm like, nah, I don't think I want to knit that again.
Yeah, I think I get distracted by the color.
I know.
Colors of new yarns. It's like, oh my God, I gotta cast that on.
I know.
So thanks for listening to our True Confessions.
And get those single socks out and start wearing them.
Totally. Let's start a movement, people. So up next, you guys, we have an amazing special guest. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. So today in studio, we have a special telephone guest, and it wouldn't be a Color Crush episode unless we had our favorite, most colorful knitwear designer, Lucy Neatby.
This is so exciting. Hello, Lucy.
Hi.
Hi, Lucy.
So when we think color, we think Lucy Neatby.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. We've read that you started knitting as a teenager.
Yes, I learned to knit as a young child. I was bribed by my grandmother.
Oh.
And then I didn't knit. I didn't knit until I was about 17. And then I really started knitting.
And then just sort of took off.
Yes, at that point, the first thing I really remember wanting to knit was a Guernsey sweater because I was doing a lot of sailing at the time
Oh my
and I couldn't
goodness.
afford to buy a Guernsey. So I decided, well, I'll knit one then. And I recycled a cardigan from a jumble sale, and it was jade green, and I knitted it into a form of Guernsey.
That is amazing.
I love
That is so great story. You've traveled the world teaching knitting, and we were just wondering, is there anywhere you'd still like to go?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I just got back from South America yesterday. And I'm really thinking I'd love to go to Australia and New Zealand.
Oh.
But I still have one province or territory in Canada that I haven't taught in.
Oh.
So I've got to find a way to do a knitting class in Inuvik sometime.
Wouldn't that be
I don't know
great?
if we'll ever make that one fly.
I'm sure it'll happen.
Yeah. So, Lucy, what would be your favorite project to design? Do you have a favorite garment that you like to design or blankets?
Right now, I've gone down a rabbit hole for about the last 3 years, and I just can't stop myself designing and knitting large double knit blankets.
You are so beautiful.
Something really satisfying about having a project that's going to last you 6 to 9 months.
Yes.
And the sort of kaleidoscopic nature of the designs that I'm using, they just make me happy. And so I love knitting those.
Oh, your double knitting projects are so beautiful.
There's one of those is on my knitting bucket list.
Where do you find inspiration, Lucy, when you start to design an item?
I'm very influenced by geometric designs and traditional ethnic designs. And so I've sort of gathered around me bits and pieces that I've collected as I've traveled around the world. And quite often I use those as a starting point. The yarn is also a great source of influence and the colors that I can get from it. And then I play with pencils and paper and scissors. And right now I'm into my snowflake phase. I'm cutting out paper snowflakes and then interpreting those in double knitting. And then sort of the last blanket I did, I mixed with the South American sort of borders. And I'd like to do something else along those lines.
That would be amazing.
I remember meeting you and you were wearing one pink boot and one black boot. And do you always, I mean, your wardrobe is amazing. Do you ever wear black?
Not if I can avoid it.
Yes.
Certainly never beige. I mean, black will set off colours.
Yes.
So, I don't object to black on the grounds of it setting off other colours.
Right.
But beige or brown, just don't do it.
Right.
I love the wilderness and I love, wild places. And so I suppose essentially I'm really quite shy.
Really?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, something
There
we
you
didn't know.
We were very excited to hear you've got a sabbatical planned.
I have, yes.
That's really amazing.
I am so excited. I've been traveling and teaching probably for the last 20 years, and the suitcase and I are falling out of harmony.
Yes.
And so I'm actually planning an 18-month break, and my first adventure is to go off on a narrowboat for a few months at the end of this year. So I won't say I'm counting the days because I've got too many gigs and things to do between now and then, but I'm really looking forward to the 1st of September.
You're going to have to pack a boatload of yarn.
I think I really want to have a double knit blanket just started before I go.
Yeah.
And I'm planning to do some stitching, and they've got to be small things. The blanket will be the big one, but these boats are very tiny, so I won't have much room. So I think it's going to be stitching, hand spindling, and a double knit blanket. I've already got my projects planned.
It sounds like heaven.
It does sound like heaven.
Lucy, this has been the biggest treat ever, having you pop in on Off Our Needles with us.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lucy. We had so much fun chatting with you today.
Wonderful. Well, I look forward to seeing your double knit blankets when you get round to
Okay. Thank you so
them.
much.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks, Lucy. So that is it, you guys. This was Color Crush. Thank you so much for watching Off Our Needles. If you want any of the information that we talked about, click the I in the corner or check out the description box below.
And if you liked our video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe,
Yes.
and leave us a comment.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yep.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.